Welcome to MRP TV, episode 2.
I'm Sarah Allen. I'm the marketing coordinator here.
I'm Noah Sears, brand manager.
Well, we want to jump right in because there's been a lot of really cool stuff going on lately.
Yeah, it's been a while since episode 1.
Right. We had a little delay. We're a little busy.
sorry to keep our fans on the edge of their seats waiting for episode number 2, but here it is.
So let's talk about the reviews we've had on the Coil lately.
Yeah, a couple awesome reviews were just published online for the ribbon. First, we saw the long-term review from Pink Bike, which was awesome. It was a glowing review from Mike Levy over there. He had nothing but good things to say about the fork. I think he said something along the lines of it basically being incorporating like all the best features of all the other forks on the market and rolling them into one fork.
That's kind of cool.
So that's pretty good. Yeah, I was particularly into the damper performance. The fact that it, even with a lot of low-speed compression dialed in, the fork really responded well and was very supple, but stood you up in the travel.
Right. Yeah. It was a great review to have, and Pink Bike's a great resource for information for all of us. So.
Yeah, so go check that out. Wait, I have one of his quotes here. It turns out the ribbon is one underdog that can not only hang with the big boys, but even outperform them. MRP's awesome twin-tube damper and ram control air spring come together to make their fork not just a viable option, but also a front runner.
Pretty great.
Yeah, so.
It's marketing people. It's like...
We could talk all day about it, but...
We'll stop.
Yeah, just go online to Pink Bike there. It's probably one page back by now, because it was about 10 days ago that it was published, but check that out.
And then Single Track Magazine, they're out of the UK.
Yep.
Just came out yesterday.
Yeah, I think Ross Domain wrote the review on that one. Also a very positive review. What did he call it in particular? I'm trying to think back to that review. Oh, that it was every bit as stiff as the competition, but coming in at 100 grams lighter, which is always a good thing. So. Yeah,
significant.
That's sweet. He is saying, if you're in the market for this type of fork, to definitely give us a look. And we say, give us more than a look. Yeah. Based on these 2 reviews, I don't think there's anywhere else to look except right here.
So with that, let's talk about this cool guy.
Oh, look at that.
It's ribbon coil time. It's nearly ribbon coil time. We're sending some out the door here.
Yeah, production actually started today on these things. You know, we debuted them at Eurobike, which seems like an eternity ago, but I think it was only like a month ago. And the response has been overwhelming. In a nutshell, the ribbon coil packs all the features of our standard and original ribbon fork. The same chassis with that cool outcast arch design. Pressure relief valves, your choice of QR or 15 or bolt-on boost axle, and that same damper that everybody's been speaking so highly of. But over on the spring side, we've replaced the full fill air spring in this model with a advanced coil spring system. And I say advanced because down here, that orange knob is actually our ramp control. So for the first time in a coil fork with our ramp control, you're able to tune in your exact desired amount of ending stroke progressiveness. Coil springs have been lauded and are famous for their suppleness and linear feel, but one area that they've kind of fell short in previously is just they would blow through with their travel because that linear nature of a coil spring on big nasty hits. So you would kind of have to compromise for those hits by putting in like a higher spring rate spring in there, and then you would compromise your small bump sensitivity. But now with this feature in a coil fork, you don't have to compromise anymore. And probably best of all, it only comes in at about 200 grams more than the air version of the fork. Yeah. So it's still very competitive with most people's air forks on the market. It's about 4.6 pounds in either the 27.5 or the 29er/27.5 plus chassis. So lightweight, hard-hitting, full featured. Pretty sweet.
If you go to our website, the ribbon coil page has all the details and the chart for what springs you want to look at based on your weight and your travel that you're looking for.
There's 5 spring rates total available, and the good news is 3 of those come in the box. Available separately are the extra soft and extra firm springs, but the 3 that come in the box should cover the majority of riders, probably from a weight range of about 150 to 225 pounds. So the vast majority of riders.
Yeah. We're excited to get those out the door.
Yeah, so production started today. Probably start shipping them next week. And then for current ribbon owners, we have an upgrade kit available. So if you want to convert your air to the coil system, there will be a kit available. That will come a little bit later, probably in November. And those parts will total out to about $190 in the U.S. market. So for the conversion parts and a single coil spring.
Pretty sweet. More new stuff.
Next on the non-stop new stuff train. Better Boost. This has been a big hit for us. We introduced these, I think, at Sea Otter this year for the first time, maybe? But we launched this product with 2 kits for DT Swiss hubs. We've since there added a couple of Stan's versions. And then most recently, models for Hope hubs, Chris King hubs, and Industry 9 hubs. So now we have kits available to cover the majority of the high-end front hubs on the market.
Yeah.
And the long and short of this product is that it allows you to keep your existing 15 by 100 hub, but upgrade to the new Boost 15 by 110 standard. And you can do so quickly and easily there's no need to dish your wheel to get it back center like the single-sided conversions that are on the market. It's just pop the end caps out, put the new ones in, space your rotor out 5 millimeters, and that's it, done and dusted. Also, we are launching next week, or we're launching them right now by me saying this, but next week we will start shipping center lock versions of all those kits. And in those kits, instead of spacing the rotor out 5 millimeters, we're actually including a brake caliper adapter that spaces your caliper over 5 millimeters. So instead of moving the rotor, we're moving the caliper. So that's how we're doing that. It also requires you to move up 20 millimeters in rotor size, which isn't too big a deal because most people are running at least 180 millimeter rotor. But if you're running a fork like the Ribbon that has 180 millimeter post mounts, it will require you to go up to a 200 millimeter / 8-inch rotor.
Cool.
So many versions of Better Boost. Check them out. They're on the website.
Let's see. More new stuff.
More new stuff.
All kinds of stuff down
Never
there.
ends. Look at these guys.
All the goodies.
These are MRP's new race axles. Pretty sweet. So these solve 2 problems. Number 1, the QR versions of rear through axles on a lot of bikes stick out really far. And when we're talking about like Boost and Super Boost bikes, all that clearance could mean, or that sticking out that far could mean it grabs on like a boulder that you're trying to snake through on a mountain bike trail, or that it's susceptible to breaking off in the event of a crash. This is much sleeker and buys you back a lot of rear end clearance.
I should have grabbed mine. Is sitting on my desk, my old QR, and it's scraped to the.
Yeah, particularly like the Shimano ones on the new Boost bikes, they probably stick out like another 30 millimeters or something.
Pretty bulky.
So that's one problem it solves, and then we're also just seeing like a lot of people opt for the tooled bolt-on axle on the ribbon fork, just because a lot of people prefer the peace of mind too to just putting a tool in there and tightening your axle down, because that is what keeps your wheels on your fork and frame. So there's some nice peace of mind to actually put a tool in there and tighten it down by hand. And then of course, just cosmetically, they look sweet and they're lighter.
Yeah.
Save a few grams. That's it. Race axles. Is there anything else?
One more thing.
Oh yeah.
X-Fusion ramp control.
Ramp control cartridge for X-Fusion's 34 millimeter forks. This fits all X-Fusion non-inverted 34 millimeter forks. That would be the slant, the sweep, and the McQueen. That's all of them. Yeah. Ranging in travel from 100 millimeters all the way up to 160 millimeters. So this adds, of course, like all of our ramp control cartridges, the ability to tune on the fly your ending stroke, how progressive you want it to get. And as always, ramp control is speed sensitive, so it gives you the additional benefit of feeling like you're riding a high volume plush air spring when you're climbing up technical trails or traversing, nice and plush like a Cadillac, but when you need that support descending, it kicks in and gives you that support so you're not blowing through travel. Now available.
Yeah.
for X
There
Fusion
were
forks.
12 models now with these, so we've got a
Yep.
pretty wide coverage on
Covers the full
other
range of
forks.
all Fox and RockShox air sprung forks, going from 32 all the way up to 40 millimeter chassis, and now X Fusion.
That's all we have for the new products right now. We'll have more, I'm sure, to talk about,
Yeah.
which is awesome. But
We're always
yeah,
working on new stuff.
we always are, and lots of things right here that you can just go up on the website, mrpbike.com. You can find out more. You can buy them there or through tons of our great partners, which you can find their information on the website as well.
Yes. Is that it?
Sales part.
I
That is
think that's all we have. This is a quick one,
Yeah.
unlike our 26 minutes.
Yeah, our pilot episode was a little hefty.
Our pilot episode
we got
ran
excited.
a little bit wrong, a bit long. So,
we'll see you for episode 3.
episode 3.
Shorter time frame.
Sooner.
Last one.
In this new shorter format.
Right.
So thanks for tuning in. Check us out on Instagram at MRP Bike, Facebook MRP Bike, and on MySpace. No, we don't have on MySpace.
I would love it.
Anyway, we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.